Welcome to season 4 of the I Talk to Angels podcast. I'm Beverly Densham, author of the book I Talk to Angels. I really look forward to bringing you tips, meditations, angel card readings and guidance from the angels every week to help and inspire you, whether you're new to the angels or have loved the angels for a long time. So I'm really honoured and happy and over the moon to have Bharti dear with us today on the I Talk to Angels podcast, talking all about worth. And Bharti, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you very much for having me on your podcast, Bev. I'm really, really honoured and really happy to be here. It's wonderful connecting with you. Thank you.
Oh, bless your cotton socks. So I met you in a synchronistic way because I'm one of the angel experts for Spirit and Destiny magazine. So I was reading the magazine, the May issue, and next minute I see that we're on the same article, but the article's all about you, and the article's called it says Angels Helped Me Survive. And I read the article and I was, to be honest, completely blown. Here it is, and there's you when your daughter was younger, and it's like, oh, and I was quite, I'll be honest, I was quite blown away by the whole article. I couldn't believe I was my little bit was in it, get to know your guardian angel. But I mean, let's talk about you. So you're I was like, wow, I've got to get in touch with you. I was very, very moved just by the article, let alone reading your new book, which is called Worth. So you have a memoir called Worth. I mean, how did this all come about?
Well, it came about because a few years back I went to a funeral, Bev, and one of the daughters of the man who had passed stood up, and she'd heard a lot of tributes to her dad. And she said that one of her main regrets was that she hadn't known half his story or what he was like as a child. And it got me thinking about my own daughter, who I've adopted. I've talked about her in Worth. And I thought, you know what? I rarely sit down and tell my daughter my story and what happened to me and what's helped me and what's guided me in my life. So I wanted to leave something for her. So I actually started writing a journal, and then it started sort of taking shape. So it's all written in longhand, written by hand. And that's how Worth came about. You know, it turned into a story, and then it got published.
Yeah, and it's published by Hay House. And oh my goodness, well, I said it on my last podcast that this is worth reading. I know it sounds a bit, but oh my goodness. If you're ever feeling sorry for yourself and you're not feeling the gratitude, make sure you read Bharti's book, because oh my goodness, your memoir, your life story is pretty incredible, what you've been through. Do you want to share a bit about your story and what happened to you at birth and things?
Of course. So I feel like my story is a miracle. I really shouldn't even be here. I think as time has gone on, Bev, I've started to really believe in guardian angels and their protection. So my story starts in Uganda in 1960. I was found abandoned on a roadside. But even prior to that, the miracle is that my adoptive mum and dad, who are Indian Sikh, Punjabis, my mum is very, very spiritual, was very, very spiritual. And she kept dreaming that she was going to have a baby girl. And she was pregnant at the time with my sister, but my dad was putting it down as, well, maybe you're carrying a baby girl in your womb. But she was insistent that the goddess Lakshmi had come to her and told her that there was another little girl that she was destined to have in the family. So she kept saying to my dad, no, there's another little girl coming. So when I was actually found on the roadside, my mum was illiterate. She couldn't read or write, but she saw a picture of me in the local newspaper and said to my dad, that's the baby. And what was remarkable was that she was able to identify the ward I was going to be in, what ward number it was, where the hospital was. And just to humor her, my dad in the end did take her to the local hospital where they found me. And my mum found me immediately. She actually just ran in and found exactly where she'd seen me in the dreams, and exactly as she had seen me wrapped up in a pink blanket, she told me later on. So, yeah, so that's a miracle in itself. And just, being on that roadside, a lot of you don't know about Kabale, Uganda, but Uganda is a hot country. It's got loads of dangerous animals like hyenas, snakes, leopards. And what I always find really remarkable, and what really sort of reinforces my sort of belief in guardian angels, is that nothing harmed me, and nothing killed me. Heat stroke. So in my book, I've sort of said, or maybe there was a force field of angels around me, keeping me, making sure that nothing dangerous came towards me. So I love writing about that in Worth. I really do, because I just feel like, so that I was meant to be. I was meant to be here, and I was meant not to die at that in that spot. I was not meant to die on that roadside. And so I've talked in Worth about being adopted, and just basically the sort of attitudes then about illegitimacy, because obviously no one knew who my parents were. And the attitude towards girls in the Indian community then being adopted. My parents got a lot of flack from people saying, if you want to adopt a boy, why are you adopting a girl? And then also I've talked about the racism I experienced, because I was dual heritage. I was African stroke Asian, and a lot of people thought I was Asian initially, but then as my features developed, they realized I was actually half African. And again, so that raised a lot of racist attitudes in the sense that not only are you adopting a girl, but now you're adopting a Black girl, you're adopting an African girl. What's this going to do to your family honor? What's it going to do to your children? And so, yeah, my parents are very, very resilient, and actually stood up to those sort of attitudes. So that my story explores all of that, those sort of attitudes in the beginning, and then goes on to talk about leaving Uganda in 1972.
Yeah, let's pause a second. So yeah, it's quite a story. When you were talking about the angels protecting you as a baby there, the angels just so strongly, when you're saying that, so strongly confirm that's what happened. And you said it was like a force field, and I just get quite a sort of angelic sensation down my body now. And when you were saying it, it's just the angels are really strongly confirming how strongly they can at times protect from, as you say, all those wild animals and everything. And so thank you, angels. I said before we started, say thank you, angels, for our chat going well, but thank you, angels, for making that happen. I don't know what you think, but do you feel really strongly? I just got very strongly from the angels when you were also saying like that you're big destiny we'll talk more about your journey and your story, but a big destiny of why you were saved is because you are destined in your job and in your work career, whatever you want to call it, sole purpose, to protect children and help children. You've ended up obviously you've been a social worker for a long time, and in child protection. I just get so strongly from the angels that destiny it was from all those moments. How do you feel about it?
Well, to be honest, I never really wanted to be a child protection social worker. I've always, I think one thing I will say is that now, looking back, I really feel that I was destined to come into this job because of my experiences.
Yeah.
When you're younger, you don't think about it, do you? You just think, oh, I'd like to be, I wanted to be a journalist, then I wanted to be a lawyer, then I wanted to be a teacher. And in my naivety, that was because of the holidays I thought I would get. But everything that transpired in my life ended up with me becoming a child protection social worker. So again, it was almost as if I was just being guided in this area. So, you know, I applied to do law at university and they turned around and said, no, we're too full. However, there's social sciences and that includes some law. Would you like to do that? So I did that. And then I went and worked in a community centre. And then there was a letter. Then my manager said to me, oh, Wolverhampton are seconding people to do an MA in social work. And I thought, oh, that sounds really interesting. I'd like to do that. So it was just meant to be that I ended up becoming a social worker.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I really feel that I was guided. So in Worth, I've talked about, you can set out a path. I'll tell, you know, I always tell people that, you know, you look at a baby and you think, right, this baby's going to be this, my child's going to do this, or the child might think, I'm going to do this. But whatever, there is the divine, there's a universe. And I do feel that the angels have a path for all of us. And sometimes you may end up doing what you wanted to do and I've always wanted to do because that was your path. But sometimes you find yourself in a completely different place, in a completely different career. And you think, how did that happen? And actually, this really suits me, you know. So I really, really strongly believe that I was destined to be a social worker. In Worth, I've talked about the various abuses, you know, not just the verbal and physical abuses, but, you know, just the bullying I experienced at school, going through illnesses. And, you know, all of those things have actually made me the person that I am today, the strong person that I am today. I may not have felt strong during those periods, but they have really reinforced, you know, that sort of feeling that I'm a person of worth and I'm a person of influence. And I am able to, my destiny was to help children and young people going through various traumas, because I may not necessarily be in their trauma, but I can understand and empathize. And I think that's where the angels and, you know, just my belief in God comes in, because every time I'm in a situation, I always, like you know, you said at the start, you always say, thank you to the angels. At the start of each day, I just say to the angels, continue guiding me today, continue guiding me in my thoughts, continue guiding me in what I say to people, and how I interact with young people and children. And I really feel that strength and that power comes through in my work. So
yeah, very much. And in 1972, you had to leave Uganda. Do you want to share what happened there?
Well, for those who don't know, Idi Amin was the president of Uganda then, and he ordered all the Asians to leave. And we lived in a small town in Kabale, and everybody's car, every family's car was confiscated. My mum was a widow then, and she had 5 of us, 5 children. So when it came to our time to leave, there was just one taxi driver transporting the 45 odd Asian families in Kabale out to the capital. And the capital was, I think, about 300 kilometers away from Kabale, 400 kilometers. And every 50 miles that we went, there was a roadblock of soldiers. So the first roadblock we came to, the soldier pointed a gun at my mum and sort of said to her that she had to leave us behind. She had to leave me behind, because in his words, I wasn't one of them. I was part of their community, their race, not the Asian race. And despite this gun being pointed at my mum, she refused, you know, and she kept on refusing. And I've sort of said in Worth, she didn't do it in a disrespectful way, but she did it in a polite way, but she was very firm. She wasn't going to leave. And it was quite a heart-stopping moment, because at that point, things could have gone either one way. Either we would have all been shot, or my mum would have been shot for disobeying a soldier, or they could have just forcibly taken me or even shot me. So my mum was incredibly brave. And when we got back in the car, after the soldier agreed to let us go and let me go, the taxi driver turned to my mum and said, "Oh," he said, "I thought that was it." And my mum she had a little smile on her face, and she said, I knew nothing was going to happen to us, because the goddess Lakshmi had come to me and told me that no harm was going to come to me or my children. So
Gosh.
I remember being in complete awe at her courage and her bravery and her faith, at that time, and really again getting that sense that there is a really powerful force around us that protects us at a time when we need it. And I think that is a memory I'm always going to carry for the rest of my life. That time in that heat, in the Ugandan heat, and my mum, having a gun pointed at her and refusing to leave me behind.
I found that emotional, you sharing that. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And then what happened next? What happens after this? You found a new home.
Yes, and I've adopted a daughter.
Yeah.
Again, these are all miracles that have come in my life. I always said I want to be a mom more than I want to be a partner. And whatever I wished for has come true. I had a little baby girl. I never thought as a single mother, that as a single parent, that, as a single woman, that I would end up adopting a baby girl, but I did. And she was perfect then. She still is perfect, despite some of the teenage angst. But and I've got a lovely home. I've been blessed, Bev. I've got everything that I need. And now I've got a memoir out, which I hope it will help millions of people. I hope so.
Yeah. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone, this podcast. Share away. And you're going to share 3 tips now about Worth. So do you want to go for tip 1?
Well, the first tip is really that I feel really powerfully about this, because in Worth, I've talked about some of the negative experiences I had. I have got a condition called lupus. I also was diagnosed with a condition called epidermolysis bullosa. And that led to a lot of bullying in school because of the way I looked, and a lot of rejection from people. So the first tip I would give to everybody is that, just be aware that any negative situation or experience that you are going through because somebody is belittling you or trying to beat you down verbally or physically, that situation denotes that other person's weakness. My mum used to always say, they have got a weakness. They've got a weakness in their mind. They've got a weakness in their brain. So it's about that person's weakness and insecurity. And you just got to remember that, that situation is not your doing. It is that other person's weakness. So that's one tip I would give to everybody who is going through a negative situation. And linked to that is also the fact that sometimes we're in situations which are really horrible, but actually, and we don't see a way out, but actually, in the grand scheme of things, considering how long we're going to live, some of us, it's only a temporary situation. And if you can just take it each day, each step at a time, this temporary situation that is so horrible will end. It will end and you'll come through it. It's like almost like going through a storm and coming out the other end, so just having that little faith in yourself that, this situation is not going to last forever. Sometimes it's baby steps, like sometimes if I've got a dreaded encounter with somebody, I think, oh, I'm really dreading tomorrow, I'm dreading today, or whatever it is. And then I remind myself, actually, it's only a day, and in the night, I'll feel differently. And tomorrow, I'll have a better day. So, it's just that, just holding on to the fact that if somebody is being really mean and horrible, yes, it's their weakness. It's not about you. You're not that person. It's that person's insecurity and weakness. And then at the same time, remember, any situation is temporary and you can get through it. You can just have the faith and believe.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. What's your tip 2 today?
So the tip 2 is really, even if you don't have faith in the divine or angels, just remember to surround yourself with people who are positive, supportive, loving, and caring. Because those are the people that are going to get you through any situation. And I wouldn't have been where I am today without the strength and support I got, not just from my family, my mother, or my sisters and my brothers, but also from the friends that I've made. So try and surround yourself with people who are there for you, who will listen to you, who will support you, and who will accept you for what you are. I made some very good friends when I was in school, and just a couple of friends, but actually they're still my friends today, because they were my strength and my support. And hopefully I was a strength and support to them when they were going through some tough times. So I can't emphasize enough about that tip.
Yeah, that's so important. So important. Thank you, Bharti. And what's your tip 3?
Well, my tip 3 is for people to realize that each and every one of us is a person of influence and is a person of worth, even if you don't value it at this moment. And, I really believe that we weren't all born to live a purposeless life. There is a purpose in all of us. There's a destiny in all of us. So I would ask people to try and latch on to what their strengths are, to latch on to what makes them that positive, unique, wonderful, valuable being that they are, and to just try and latch on to that positivity inside them. So even in the darkest of situations, there is something about you. It could be that you're kind. It could be that you're compassionate. It could be that you care about somebody. Just latch on to whatever the positive attributes you've got, because those attributes are the ones that will influence you. And, I'm a strong believer in the divine. I'm a strong believer in angels. So for me, I try and reinforce my positive attributes by speaking to the angels and speaking to divine and praying and having that faith that I'm going to be helped throughout. But even if you haven't, then just try and focus on some of the good that's inside you, because that makes you the person of influence, and that makes you the worthy person that you have been destined to be from the time of your birth. And that's what I strongly believe in. We've all got a sense of worth inside us, and we've all got something of value to give to everybody around us. So that's my third tip.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that's a beautiful way you describe that there. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to go into a worth angel meditation now for you. So I really hope you enjoy this and enjoy. So welcome to today's worth meditation. So just take a breath in and a breath out and relax and get yourself really comfortable, sitting or lying down. If you'd like to tuck yourself up in a cozy blanket, you can, and just breathe and relax and enjoy absorbing these beautiful worth affirmations.
I believe I'm worth it every moment, every second, all day and all night. Today is the day I say enough to a lack of self-belief, so the roots of my worth can take hold and finally grow. When I allow my self-worth to rise, negative thoughts and feelings evaporate. I believe in the power of my worth. My worth says that every negative experience is a flame. When I refuse to give it air, it is extinguished and has no power over me. Every time I raise my voice against an injustice meted out to me or someone else, I water the seeds of my worth. No person has the right to take my spirit just because they don't like something about me, my beliefs, my values, or my lifestyle. Worth is knowing what I want and going for it without fear. Worth is standing up and claiming my right to be free of any emotion that stops me from progressing in life. Worth is accepting and celebrating who I am. Worth is holding a mirror to myself, not comparing myself to others. Despite my doubts and worries, my worth remains steadfast and will always be my strength. I appreciate my life more because of my sense of worth and the person it has taught me to be. When I show compassion to others, both my worth and my confidence grow. And those are my affirmations.
Beautiful. And just breathe and relax. Thank you so much. So really hope you enjoyed that beautiful, beautiful worth meditation with Bharti there. Thank you so much, Bharti, for that. That was really, really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. I think you can listen to that again and again, you know, just beautiful, beautiful words. And I think it's something you need to re-listen to absorb it and the different areas, you know.
Thank you.
It's really lovely. To help you come round from that lovely worth meditation with Bharti, we're going to do a lovely positive affirmation card from the Happy Kids cards. So let's see which one we get today. Best one for the podcast. So this one is jumping out. Let's see what we get. Oh, how interesting. How to pick the cards. We're going to have to go for another one. It's got 10 fun ways of how to pick the card. These are my 4 little characters, David, Amy, Maya and Sammy, who are beautiful little characters. We're going to go for another one, but there's obviously a reason I picked that one today. And there's also a little butterfly, which it was actually an angel that my son drew when he was 4 years old. He drew Archangel Michael. He was a bit annoyed with me at the time that I coloured the wings in, because he did it black and white, and I found it on this little scrunched up piece of paper. I was like, wow, what a beautiful angel. Some people think it looks like a butterfly, but he actually drew it as Archangel Michael, having known me go on about angels so much.
That's
and I was
beautiful.
like, wow. And I wanted it to be the colours of the chakra and the colours of the rainbow. So maybe that's why I picked that today. I don't know. I'm feeling it is. Let's pick another one.
I love the picture on that one, though. It's the diversity. It's so inclusive of everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, do you want to describe what it's like?
For me, that picture resonates because it shows that we're all one, regardless of our color, regardless of anything about our lifestyle. We're all one, and we're all one in humanity. I love that card because of that picture.
Yeah, and they're all holding hands, and as you say, they're all one.
Yeah.
Because we are, and that is that. So yeah, thank you for sharing what that means to you. So at home listening, what does that one mean to you today? We also got I lie down to relax. I lie on my back, knees bent, arms at shoulder height, and relax. So that's the other message that we got for today.
Lovely.
So that's that one. We're going to go for an angel card message as well. So this first one was from the My Happy Kids cards deck of positive affirmation cards. It's nice, just give them a little shuffle, pick a card every day is really nice. I'm just going to ask the angels which cards to pick from the angelic meaning cards, which are just angel cards for today. T for true friends. Oh, I think that's a lovely one. It says true friends and family are like precious diamonds. Treat yourself to more time with your favorite friends and family. You deserve it. That's a little bit like tip 2, isn't it, today?
Isn't it? Yes, it is, definitely. That's amazing. And also look how timely it is. On Monday, we'll be able to meet up with friends.
Yeah, that's just perfect.
Coffees and teas together. Yeah.
I'm going to see my family for the first time in 9 months next week.
Gosh, how lovely.
Very excited about that. Bharti, that was just amazing to talk to you today. I felt such a synchronicity to you. I feel I also have a sole purpose of helping families and children, having been through a lot myself in the past and my family. And I feel like we both have a slightly similar mission in some respects. May your book sell worth, which is amazing, sell millions of copies, and more than anything, help millions of people. I really believe it will, and it's destined to. It is its destiny. So thank you so much for creating that. Where can everyone find you, your website?
I'm on bhartideer.com. And then also Worth is available on Amazon, Waterstones, Blackwell's, all the major bookstores. I'm also on Instagram, but don't ask me what my Instagram ID.
Yeah, just type in Bharti's name. You will soon find her. You will find her. And that's great. I'm
not savvy at all.
Oh, you're getting there. I think you're doing very well. So thanks so much. Thanks so much for coming today. Have you got one parting word before we go?
I just want to say thank you very, very much to everybody. Thank you to you, Bev, and to all the amazing people that are supporting me. And that includes Hay House and Kyle Gray, who was my mentor. So thank you to everybody that's supporting the book and believing in the book and buying the book. So I just want to say, and thank you, Bev. You know, I'm so grateful to be here. I really value the time you've given me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharti. And yeah, I really hope you find this helpful today. Please share with everyone my book, and please report back how it's helped, how it helps and inspires you.
I will.
Because it definitely will. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the I Talk to Angels podcast. Please rate and review on your podcast platform. You can access my free angel healing meditation on my website,
You can get a signed copy of my book, I Talk to Angels, which includes a free manifestation meditation with the angels. You can also book your one-to-one coaching and angel card reading by going to angeliclifestyle.com.